So if you're an artist, there's 100% chance that you've already heard the news of Sora AI going down, the creator of Fruit Love Island also crashing the hell out and leaving the internet, and a whole lot of other AI negative news. And it's a very hopeful thing that we as artists are getting this kind of news in an era where investors are spending billions of dollars into AI. And I will discuss this further into the video, but seeing how Disney has been supporting AI projects and seeing this Sora AI $1 billion deal get cut off is incredibly hopeful for animators and artists from around the world, as I'm sure it was a dream of many to work with Disney, and I really hope that this trend dies down so artists can go back to creating and not have to worry about their job security just because executives decided, yeah, we should use AI for everything. And I do mean, by looking at these two examples of Sora AI going down and the Fruit Love Island creator getting banned off TikTok, you can see that, wow, artists and people around the world are really happy about this kind of thing going down, because normal people like you and me understand the harms of AI beyond just it looks bad. There's fundamental problems behind it. It's a new kind of technology that has so much investment behind it, but zero ethics or research as to what kind of harms it has and how it affects people. Why do you think people suffer from AI psychosis? This is a genuine thing that is happening. People getting addicted to AI, get AI girlfriends or boyfriends and obsess over them to the point where they lose track of reality and they only see AI as their best friend. That is a fundamentally wrong thing that's happening, and no one is stopping it, especially not the people that are actually controlling the AI, because it doesn't harm them. They can just say, oh, it's the misuse of AI. And this misuse can be stopped, but it isn't. This is the thing, right? AI cannot be held accountable, unlike us human beings. If an employee at a company does something bad, the company can hold the employee accountable and remove them from the company, get them fired, remove their benefits, and things like this. But when an AI makes a wrong decision or releases information that is private and incredibly sensitive, who can you blame? I mean, you can technically get the AI company sued maybe, but they can also say it was the company's fault for misusing the AI or not having good cybersecurity. This is the thing. Our society does not know how to use AI properly right now, and it is being given to the public so freely. And this is why Sora AI went down. Investors invested so much into this thing and just did not make a profit back, because you're giving free AI video generation to everybody. That is a dumb decision. And from now on, I'm going to be looking at an artist's point of view of why this AI downfall is really good for them, actually. As an artist myself, it's very obvious why I'm happy about Sora AI going down, or even the Fruit Love Island creator getting banned. It's because these things were actively harming artists. And artists like you and me, we need these kinds of jobs at Disney or these huge animation studios in order to make a living for ourselves, because this is the kind of field we're made for. And seeing AI take over it with absolutely garbage content, it's genuinely hurtful. And by the way, AI Fruit Love Island is already a show. Watch Love Island. It's created by good executives and good producers. I'm sorry, I don't exactly know if there's any controversies within the casting team or the production, so I'm sorry if I said this and just tick people off. But it's still created by creatives. Why not watch that? What's the point of watching a show that's just a plagiarized copy? There's nothing new about it. It's the exact same plot lines as the normal Love Island. Just watch Love Island. There's a lot of good reality TV shows if you don't want to watch Love Island. There's a lot of better things to watch than AI. And I'm gonna explain to you why AI doesn't work in shows and things like this. Look at a Ghibli film. When you see a Ghibli film, there's gonna be short foreshadowings. There's gonna be scenes like where you see Sophie running and you see Howl coming up to her from this mysterious place, and you're like, how the hell did he get there and how does he know Sophie? But then when you finish the movie, you see the time loop and you realize, oh my god, this was a foreshadowing. This kind of detail was so fascinating when you see the movie, and there's lots of symbolisms and tiny details that just make the film beautiful. And then when you try to translate that into AI, it can't do that. Because no matter what you think, prompts are not control over the AI. The AI cannot make up new tiny details on its own, unlike a team of artists can. A team of artists can add Easter eggs into their content. For example, you can look at The Amazing Digital Circus, and you can see the parallels between the first episode and the recent episode in which you see Pomni touching her cheek. You can, as an artist, see that this was not only an Easter egg, but also another symbolism of how maybe she wanted to stay in the circus due to her touching her cheek with her red glove, rather than in the previous episodes in which she touched it with her blue glove. This kind of symbolism is almost impossible to do with AI because you do not have control over AI. You do not have that kind of details and all these little foreshadowing thingies with AI. You can only make explicit content. You can't be like adding implicit details because the AI will mess it up. The AI can't handle that kind of information because it's used to getting explicit details. And by the way, when you do make AI content, it's really hard to get ownership of that content. For example, when you post an artwork or have a character that you just made, it falls under copyright. It is your own character, and anyone else who copies it is liable. But when you make AI content, you can't copyright that. That is free use for everybody else. Anyone else can use your prompts and make things like this. There is no limit to what a person can do because you can't copy AI. AI itself is a copy of other people's content from around the internet. And let me say this one more thing. As an English language student, when I look at texts, I analyze them from a point of view of, first of all, this is made by a human. So what does this human think? What was their reasoning behind adding this certain detail? For example, this is the famous meme of why was the curtain blue? When the author states, why was the curtain blue? What do they mean by that? What is the reason behind it? What is the symbolism hidden in it? And when you use it with AI doesn't know. AI can't come up with symbolism. AI only uses explicit details. I mean, it can try to imitate that symbolism, but it will never do it right. It's very hard to write a prose or any kind of poem using AI as well, and especially in other languages like Urdu, where I have seen other people try it a few years ago. I'm not sure if it's that good now, but in Urdu poetry, it just completely messed it up. And even when trying to reference Quranic verses in actual factual research, AI messed up and wrote its own verses. Do you know how damaging that misinformation is? And this kind of thing always happens. AI is not that good of a tool. AI can be used as an assist if you want, but why should you? You don't need AI to make references for you. References exist on the internet freely. You can go on Pinterest and find hundreds of poses to copy. You don't need AI for that. Or you can find a 3D application to make your own reference. Or take a picture of yourself to make a reference. If you want concept artists exist. And if you want, you can make it yourself. Concept art doesn't need to be good, just as I said in my last video. Coming up with character designs, make them yourself, or find a character designer who can make them for you. There's hundreds of incredible artists out there who are willing to put in the work for you. And even ignoring the fact that artists often undercharge, you should be able to afford an artist if you're willing to invest time into your project. Now, recently there was a Coca-Cola commercial that went around. Maybe not recently, it was an year ago or two, but it went around and people were absolutely enraged about it because it used AI. How is almost a multi-billion-dollar company using AI? And there was this comic that went around a while ago, and I'm sorry if I'm unable to credit it. If I find it, I will absolutely add it to the video. But basically, the comic said that if a company is willing to use AI, then they're lazy and they can't even afford an artist. So what is the point of following that company? And I absolutely agree with that comic, because when you look at an art piece and you think, oh, this used AI, that's just lazy. There's no effort put into it to make me enjoy that content. And obviously with a huge billion-dollar company, I will absolutely hate it, because how are you a $1 million company and you're unable to pay an artist or pay an advertisement company to help you create content? That's stupid. You should be able to pay an artist if you're a $1 billion company. And trust me, artists make much better content than AI, because they have the specific knowledge of what to do and what kind of things to add. An advertiser will know what kind of details they should add to attract an audience. An AI can only copy details from the internet and other advertisements, and they can only listen to the prompter. And oftentimes these prompters do not know what they're doing. They can't make good ads. They can only make up crappy details which maybe an audience would like. So they don't have the knowledge behind this in order to make this art, or make this art in quotations, make these images or videos. Now, I know the argument I've made so far seems very negative, and it is. AI is genuinely not a good tool, and it is still being taken over, and executives keep using it to make more and more slop content. But throughout this argument, I have been praising artists, their skills and knowledge. An artist knows what they're doing, and this kind of undermining of their work is genuinely so hurtful. It's not only just an absolute cultural downfall of humanity, it is the capitalistic rise of executives and these higher-ups absolutely abusing their workers, and it's genuinely time for artists to rise back up. Now, here is where I am gonna make a hopemaxxing statement. Artists, keep making art. Do whatever you want, but keep making art. Even if that's for your own personal use, keep making art. Because sooner or later, these generations that are gonna come after us, they're gonna look at this AI slop generation and be brainwashed by it, and even right now, you can see Gen Alpha and Gen Beta be absolutely brainwashed and have absolutely brain rotted because they can't even study in a school properly. They genuinely become disruptive and they can't focus on school because of the kind of content they have been consuming. And I know this is a very boomerish argument, but it is genuinely that phone that's the problem. And it's time for artists to reunite and create a community in which they can share their art and be happy with themselves. Because in this time of AI overlords taking over the world, artists are their enemy. You artists, whether you're a songwriter, a musician, you make beats, you create beautiful oil paintings, you create tiny comics on your notebook. All of that is art, and all of that deserves to be kept safe and preserved, because that is you. That is your voice being shared through your art. And it's beautiful. And I think that art is more humane than AI will ever be, because you can critique art. You can discuss art, you can see the faults in it, you can see that, oh, okay, there was this mistake in this art, or there was this kind of symbolism in this artwork. Let's discuss it. You can improve upon art. You can't improve upon AI. And eventually, I'm saying this, AI is gonna eat itself alive. AI will start eating content that is its own. It will start training itself based on flawed artwork that it itself made. An artist can never just study their own art. They study the pieces other people have made, and they create new things from it. They create new things, like, for example, if I read JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and I like a certain detail, I can incorporate it into my own comic without it being plagiarism. But in AI, if you're told, hey, can you create this thing in the style of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's gonna be a complete copy. It's not gonna be an original thing. We as artists have a lot of power over what we can create. And unlike AI, artists hold each other accountable all the time for problematic content, for creating dumb things, for creating racist things. We can hold them accountable. We can call them out for it. AI? There's hundreds of racist AI videos, and the only thing we can critique is that, oh, the person who prompted it is bad, rather than focusing on the fact that AI is so out of control that it can create content like this for free and without repercussions. You can easily create horrible videos of other people doing horrible things with AI. However, if you were an artist, you would be heavily criticized for this. However, an AI can't be criticized because an AI isn't a thing. An AI isn't a sentient being. No matter how much you try to make it empathetic, it is not ever gonna be empathetic. Humans, animals, and sentient beings are the only things that can feel empathy. An AI cannot. An AI is a mere replica of humans. It will never feel, it will never have control. Because an AI is unfeeling. No matter how much it tries to replicate human emotion, whether that's through art or through writing or through therapy, it never will. It's always only gonna be able to appeal to the user. It can never make an argument. It can never say, no, what about we go with this detail instead rather than going for this? And that is the crux of this problem, that AI can never replace artists. Because artists are human. Artists create better things. So I want every artist that is watching this video to, first of all, share their art or whatever they're making recently in the comments below. I want to see what you all have made, and I want to be happy while looking at it. I don't want to see more AI slop. I don't want to see AI video essays on SpongeBob. I want to see a 12-year-old make a video on SpongeBob and be happy about it. I want to see 15-year-olds writing songs and being happy. I want to see 30-year-olds coming back onto YouTube and creating content about what they specialize in. That is the beauty of art. And that is the beauty of YouTube and social media. To be able to create and share with millions of people your hard work. So, keep creating, go wild, go ham, please just keep drawing. Bye bye, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you all have a great day.